They ripped you apart behind closed doors, hoping your silence meant defeat. But they didn't understand something crucial. You weren't silent because you were weak. You were silent because you were calculating. Because real storms don't make noise until they hit. They thought they won, but they never saw the war happening inside you. While they danced in circles with their lies, you were sharpening your teeth in the dark. So here's what you need to understand. You were never the villain. You were the mirror, and the truth they saw in you made their own skin crawl. So they did what cowards do. They turned the mirror to stone and called it a monster. They wanted you to break. They needed it, because your strength made their weakness scream louder. And your loyalty? They crushed it, not because it wasn't enough, but because they couldn't match it. They hated how much you gave, because they only knew how to take. You gave them real. They fed you fake. You gave them firelight. They threw shadows. And now they're dancing around their illusions, calling it a kingdom. But they built that place on your blood. They fed off your silence like parasites. They laughed while you bled, thinking your silence was surrender. But you didn't fold. You froze. You didn't collapse. You calculated, because silence isn't weakness. It's war in disguise. Let them believe they won. Let them run their mouths. Let them choke on their false sense of victory. Because one day, they'll sit alone in the dark they built for you and realize they locked themselves in. You don't need to scream. You don't need revenge. Your stillness will echo louder than their loudest betrayal. Because what they fear the most isn't your anger. It's your absence. They expect you to come crawling back, to beg, to plead, to ask why. But you don't. You never did. You watched in silence while they burned the bridge, then built your own path brick by brick with the ashes they left behind. That's what they can't process. That's what keeps them up at night. You didn't need their apology. You didn't need closure. You needed the truth. And the truth is, they did you a favor. Because now you know who they really are, and they'll learn who you really are. Not the quiet one, not the broken one, but the one who rose from hell without making a sound. Let them convince themselves they've moved on. Let them pretend your silence means you were weak. Because deep down, they know they're not moving forward. They're running from guilt, from truth, from the wreckage they left behind. And one day, they'll meet someone new, and they'll smile. But inside, they'll be comparing every inch of that person to you. And nothing will feel enough. Because when you were in their life, you were rare. And rare things aren't replaceable, only regretted. They'll remember your calm, your silence, your loyalty, and it'll hit like a sledgehammer to the chest. But by then, you'll be gone. Not bitter, not angry, just done. And when they come crawling back, whispers in their throat and regret in their eyes, you won't need to shout. You won't even need to speak. Your silence will slice deeper than any words ever could. They'll finally understand. You didn't stay because you were desperate. You stayed because you chose to. And that choice, they spat on it. Let them taste the consequences of disrespect. Let them drown in their own regret. You don't have to lift a finger. Life already has the blade pointed at their throat. You see, staying calm, that's your final act of power. Because the ones who scream aren't in control. The ones who burn things down are the ones already lost. But the one who walks away, eyes cold, heart steady, spirit unshaken, that's the one who owns the war. They think your kindness is soft. They think your silence is surrender. Let them. They didn't see the fire you swallowed to keep them warm. They didn't see the nights you didn't sleep, just so they could. They thought your love was weakness? Then let them find strength in the fake replacements they chose. They'll come to understand. The only person they destroyed was themselves. You didn't stoop. You didn't beg. You stood still while the storm raged and became the eye of it. They'll never forget that. They'll try, but memory is cruel to those who betray someone real. Let them accuse. Let them point. The ones who know you truly know you. They'll feel the truth in your silence. They'll see you never threw dirt because you never needed to. And when the noise fades and their lies collapse under their own weight, you'll still be standing, not because you fought, but because you outlasted. And that's the final chapter. Not revenge, not rage, but peace. Your peace. Let them be consumed by the shadows they thought would devour you. You were never part of their storm. You were the calm before it. The silence that breaks egos. The mirror that doesn't lie. The beast that never roars because it doesn't need to. So stay calm. Stay cold. Stay unmoved. And when they realize what they lost, you won't even look back. Because by then, you'll be too far ahead to be reached, to be touched, to be replaced. You were never meant to break. You were meant to rise. It's like waking up one morning and realizing you're just done. You've given enough, sacrificed enough, and now it's time to protect yourself. Pause, and that's when they panic, because they never thought it would happen. They always assumed you'd be the one to fix things, to reach out, to offer that olive branch. One more time. But when they see you move on, without them, without even a backward glance, that's when reality slaps them in the face. Short pause. They start replaying every conversation, every fight, every time they took you for granted, trying to pinpoint the exact moment they lost you. But it's too late. You didn't just wake up one day and decide to walk away. It was gradual. Every lie, every broken promise, every moment of disrespect, each one chipped away at what you felt for them. Until one day, there was nothing left to hold on to. Pause. You didn't stop caring because you wanted to. You stopped because they left you. They took too much for too long. And now they have to live with the consequences. Longer pause. Let them realize their mistake. Too late. Let them wake up in the middle of the night, haunted by the memory of someone who would have given them the world if they had just treated you right. Let them drown in the silence where your laughter used to live. Let them scroll through old messages, desperately searching for a clue as to why you finally walked away. They'll blame you, of course. At first, they'll convince themselves you changed, that you gave up too easily. But deep down, they know the truth. They pushed you too far. And that is the beauty of staying calm. Short pause. You don't have to fight. Don't have to scream. Don't have to argue. You just let go. Let them spiral into their own guilt, their own regret. While you find peace on your own terms. Pause. You don't owe them closure. You don't owe them explanations. Sometimes, silence is the only answer they deserve. Pause. They'll try to replace you. Oh, they'll try. They'll look for someone with the same loyalty, the same patience, the same unconditional support. But they'll fail, because what you gave them wasn't just affection. It was understanding. It was sacrifice. It was standing by them when no one else would. That kind of loyalty doesn't grow on trees. Short pause. So let them try. Let them chase shadows, thinking they'll find another version of you. They'll realize soon enough that what they had was rare, and by the time they do, you'll be long gone, somewhere they can't reach, somewhere their words and regrets can't touch.
And that's the ultimate victory. Pause. Not revenge, not getting even, just moving on without looking back, letting them deal with the mess they created while you find happiness far away from their toxicity. Pause. Staying calm doesn't mean you're unaffected. It doesn't mean you didn't care. It just means you've chosen peace over chaos. You've chosen to protect your heart instead of fighting battles that leave you bleeding. Short pause. No matter how much you love someone, you can't make them value you. You can't make them see what's right in front of them if they are too blinded by ego to notice. And that's not your problem. That's their burden. Pause. You're not responsible for their lack of insight. You're not responsible for teaching them how to appreciate good people. That's something they'll have to learn the hard way, through loss, through regret. It's not your job to fix them. It's not your duty to keep sacrificing your own well-being just to make them feel secure. Short pause. You're allowed to walk away. You're allowed to choose yourself for once. And if that means they have to face their demons alone, so be it. Maybe that's exactly what they need to finally grow up. Pause. Just stay calm. Let them think you moved on without a second thought. Let them wonder how you found the strength to let go.
while they're still stuck in the same cycle of blame and denial. Long pause. They'll experience what it's like to be without the one person who truly had their back. Eventually, they'll get it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day, it'll hit them like a punch to the gut. They'll see you, thriving, smiling, living, and that's when they'll realize by losing you, they lost the best thing that ever happened to them. And you'll be too busy living, too busy healing, too busy enjoying the peace you fought so hard to reclaim. Pause. You won't care about their realization because you'll know it was never about proving anything to them. It was always about saving yourself.